You've chosen the right calf.
Rolling.
Now let's remove God from the equation and think humanistically.
Well, removing God from the equation is looking at humanism from a modern perspective. Renaissance humanists were often church officials, accepting a profoundly Christian worldview. So, a great challenge for the Renaissance humanists was to bring into accord aspects of the ancient or pagan cultures they revered and the Christian practices which ordered their lives and faith.
True. So let's contemplate Adam from a modern perspective. Now, modern humanism is the idea that critical thinking, reason, and rationalization all trump faith, belief, and religion.
Yes. In the Middle Ages, most art centered around God, religion, and the church. But around the 14th century, artists became more interested in their surroundings and their everyday experiences. If God and the church weren't the center of the universe, they thought, what was? In Europe, people sought knowledge of the natural world, science, biology, astronomy, anatomy.
In essence, themselves. People began to exhibit that most human of all human traits. Any idea what that might have been?
Anyone?
The most human of all human traits. Everyone want to throw out a word? I like to think curiosity.
Ah, yes. And it was through this profound curiosity that there came a rebirth.
Rebirth, otherwise known as? The Renaissance.
The
Very
Renaissance.
good.
Who was it that just said that?
Behind you. I think Adam wants to say hello. Can you
Hello?
see her? She's in the blue.
Hi. What is your name?
But what is your name? Dory?
Dory. Wonderful to meet you, Dory. Now, Dory, would you kindly tell everyone what the word Renaissance means in French?
Rebirth? Very
Rebirth.
good.
Very good.
See, what a radical idea humanism was. When the artists removed God and the church from their art, no longer was the divine seen through the literal divine.
Like in the Met's own pre-Renaissance paintings, Madonna and Child by Paolo di Giovanni Fei, or Madonna and Child by Simone Martini, or Madonna and Child by Bernardo Daddi. Madonna and Child enthroned, that is. Or Madonna and Child with Angels by Gentile de Fabriano. Or Madonna and Child with Saints and Angels by Filippo de Memo. Or Madonna and Child by Duccio di Boninsegna.
See, now the artist finds the divine through everyday human experience. It's an artistic shift of tectonic proportions and permanently influenced art movements across history.
From the Baroque and the Rococo to the Dutch.
Oh, the Dutch, that single stream of milk being poured from a milkmaid's pitcher in Vermeer's The Milkmaid is, I think, one of the most, there she is, one of the most divinely inspired images in all the canon.
To neoclassicism, to romanticism, to realism, to the pre-Raphaelites.
To my favorite, Impressionism.
To Fauvism, to Expressionism, to Cubism, to Futurism, to the present day.
Thank God for humanism. Strolling through the Met, we find the divine in a woman simply combing her hair.
As seen in Woman Combing Her Hair by Edgar Degas.
In a can-can.
As seen in Moulin Rouge La Goulou by Toulouse-Lautrec.
In, a young girl taking her first steps.
As seen in First Steps by Vincent van Gogh. But docent, a question. Is Tullio's Adam a humanistic sculpture?
Yes. In the Adam, we are witnessing the first human making his very first act of defiance, his very first act of disobedience. We are catching Adam, the man, separating from his God, his maker, and becoming human. Remember, man is curious.
It appears to me that man has the relentless habit of constantly questioning.
Yes, man is rebellious. Man cannot tolerate irrational, unreasonable rules like don't eat that apple. Don't eat that apple. Watch me.
Why, that almost sounded like a challenge.
And man has never been one to turn down a challenge. I think if ever there was a Renaissance sculpture that embodied the very quintessence of modern humanism, it's Tullio's Adam. Next fragment.